Andy Rourke was more than just a bass player for the Smiths. He was a melodic genius who shaped the sound of one of the most influential bands of the 1980s. His complex, fluid, and funky bass lines worked in perfect tandem with Johnny Marr's guitar parts, creating a rich tapestry of musical textures and hooks. Rourke also contributed to the songwriting and arrangements of the Smiths' classic songs, sometimes writing the music for Morris's lyrics, such as on Girl Least Likely to and Yes, I Am Blind. In this section, we will explore how Andy Rourke's bass playing added depth, groove, and emotion to some of the Smiths' most memorable tracks. One of the earliest examples of Rourke's brilliance is This Night Has Opened My Eyes, a song from the Smiths' 1984 debut album. The song is based on a simple chord progression, but Rourke adds variety and interest by changing his bass line in each verse and chorus. He starts with a sparse and syncopated pattern that follows Marr's guitar riff, then switches to a more melodic and flowing line that echoes Morrissey's vocal melody, and finally plays a fast and rhythmic part that drives the song to its climax. Rourke's bass line not only complements the mood and dynamics of the song, but also enhances its lyrical theme of alienation and despair. Another song that showcases Rourke's versatility and creativity is The Headmaster Ritual, the opening track of the Smiths' second album, Meat is Murder. The song is a scathing critique of the British education system, and Rourke's bass line reflects the anger and frustration of the lyrics. He plays a distorted and aggressive part that contrasts with Marr's jangly guitar chords, creating a tension that matches Morrissey's vocal delivery. He also uses slides, bends, and hammer-ons to add expression and flair to his playing. Rourke's bass line is so distinctive and catchy that it almost becomes a second lead instrument in the song. Rourke also had a knack for writing memorable hooks that would stick in the listener's mind. One of his most famous bass lines is on Barbarism Begins at Home, a song for Meat is Murder that deals with domestic violence. The song features a long instrumental section where Rourke plays a funky and groovy bass line that makes the song irresistible to dance to. He uses syncopation, octaves, and chromatic notes to create a catchy and rhythmic part that supports Marr's guitar solo. Rourke's bass line is so prominent and infectious that it has been sampled by several hip-hop artists, such as De La Soul and Beastie Boys. Another example of Rourke's ability to write hooks is on This Charming Man, one of the Smiths' most popular songs. The song is an upbeat and joyful ode to romance, and Rourke's bass line reflects that mood. He plays a simple but effective part that follows Marr's guitar riff, adding harmony and groove to the song. He also adds some variations and embellishments to his playing, such as sliding up to the root note or playing an extra note at the end of each phrase. Rourke's bass line is so integral to the song that it has been covered by many artists, such as Death Cab for Cutie and Franz Ferdinand. Rourke also had a talent for adding depth and emotion to the Smiths' songs with his bass playing. One of his most moving bass lines is on I Know It's Over, a song from the Smiths' third album, The Queen Is Dead. The song is a heartbreaking ballad about unrequited love, and Rourke's bass line conveys the sadness and longing of the lyrics. He plays a slow and mournful part that follows Morrissey's vocal melody, adding some subtle variations and accents to his playing. He also uses dynamics and pauses to create contrast and tension in the song. Rourke's bass line adds weight and beauty to one of the Smiths' most emotional songs. Another song that demonstrates Rourke's skill for adding emotion to the Smiths' songs is There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, one of their most beloved songs. The song is a romantic anthem about finding hope in love, even in the face of death. Rourke's bass line supports the sentiment of the lyrics by playing a warm and melodic part that harmonizes with Marr's guitar chords. He also adds some counterpoint and fills to his playing, such as playing an ascending scale or a descending arpeggio at certain points in the song. Rourke's bassline adds richness and sweetness to one of the Smiths' most uplifting songs. Andy Rourke was an essential part of the Smiths' sound and legacy. His bass playing was not only technically impressive, but also musically expressive. He wrote basslines that were complex, fluid, funky, catchy, moving, and memorable. He contributed to the songwriting and arrangements of the Smiths' classic songs, sometimes writing the music for Morris's lyrics. He shaped the sound of one of the most influential bands of the 1980s with his melodic genius.